In the beginning of the story, we see a girl named KD who is going somewhere with her parents in a car. Due to bad weather, KD's father can't see anything ahead, and then a truck comes and crashes into their car. In this accident, the girl's parents are killed, but the girl, whose name is KD, survives. Now, the scene is cut here, and we are shown a girl named Gemma. Gemma works for a company that makes robotic toys for children. And now Gemma is secretly working on a new robot with her 2 colleagues. Even her boss doesn't know about this project. The robot that Gemma is secretly making is called Megan. Megan is an ultra-intelligent robot that will not only play with children, but will save them from every trouble. One day, when the 3 of them are working, then suddenly their boss David comes there. When he finds out that these 3 are working on a secret project without my permission, then he tells these 3 a lot for this project. And he was angry even before he came here. He tells Gemma that the last time he launched a robotic toy in the toy market, another company had launched exactly the same toy against us. Gemma tells her to calm her boss's anger, that if we succeed in Megan's project, then no other company can make such a robot, and Megan will be the favorite of every child in the toy market. Now, Gemma tells her boss to say hi to Megan to show her boss Megan's demo. But Megan has a problem in her system when she tries to talk, because of which Megan gets badly blasted. Seeing this, David gets even angrier, and Gemma tells Megan to stop her project and focus on her office work. After a while, when Gemma is about to go home from the office, then she gets a call from which she finds out that her sister has had a car accident in which her sister and her husband have been killed. Only her niece KD is alive, and she is also badly injured. After staying in the hospital for several weeks, KD's condition gets much better, and now, because there is no one in this world of KD, Gemma brings him to her house. KD's parents have recently died, and now she comes to a new house. That's why she is not very happy in a new house. And on the other hand, Gemma had never taken the responsibility of a child before. That's why she doesn't know anything about how to take care of children. But somehow she tries to keep KD happy. But in order to keep KD happy, Gemma could not focus on her work. The next morning, Gemma calls a child therapist to see KD. After meeting KD, the therapist tells Gemma that KD is not in this house, which may take some time for KD to settle here. At night, when Gemma is working, then KD comes to her and sits. In the middle of the conversation, KD asks Gemma about her work. Gemma tells her that I work in a company that makes robotic toys. KD is shocked to hear this because she liked toys very much. After this, Gemma shows KD a big robot that Gemma made in her college days. KD likes this robot very much, and she says to Gemma that if I had such a robot, then I could spend my whole life with it. Gemma is very happy to hear her work, and she gets the motivation to work on her project Megan. And Gemma also gets this idea that if she prepares a robot like Megan and she gives that robot to KD, then I will have a lot of free time and I will be able to focus on my work well, because that robot will be able to take care of KD at home. After this, she starts working on Megan robot with her colleagues, but she did not know that she was going to make the biggest mistake of her life. After many weeks of hard work, finally, these people succeed in making Megan robot. And now the day of Megan's testing comes. And if Megan succeeds in keeping a child happy today, then Megan will pass. Now Gemma did not have any other child for testing, so Gemma takes KD for testing with Megan. Here, KD touches 2 fingers on Megan's palm to become Megan's primary user and tells her name, which activates Megan. The meaning of primary user is that Megan can no longer ignore her primary user, that is, KD's words, and she will have to help in every work of KD. As soon as it is activated, Megan scans KD's face and sees what KD is feeling right now, and according to that, Megan talks to KD. Gemma's boss was also watching all this from the outside. There was also a painting in that room. Megan starts making something on paper for KD, and after a few minutes, she asks KD to see what was made on paper. But when KD sees that paper, it was completely empty. Seeing this, KD and Gemma's boss standing outside are disappointed, and he thinks that Gemma could not succeed in making Megan again. And then, Megan spills water on that paper. Seeing this, KD is afraid of Megan's action. But when KD looks at that paper carefully, she is shocked. Because of the water on the paper, Megan's painted painting is seen there. Megan had made a picture of KD. Seeing this, KD is very happy. And Gemma's boss, David, also dances happily. He praises Gemma for his Megan robot and says that we will put this robot in the market and earn a lot of money from it. He tells Gemma to quickly prepare Megan so that our chairman is also ready to put it in the market. After this, Gemma brings Megan to her house. As soon as Megan puts her feet inside the house, she starts scanning everything so that she can understand everything well. Now Megan had only one job, and that job was to take care of KD. Megan helps KD in every little thing. Megan does her homework from KD. She forbids him from his bad habits. She also tells him stories at night. KD now spends all her time with Megan, and she was very happy to see Megan. And Gemma also started getting a lot of free time now. One day, KD is playing with her arrow and bow, and then her arrow goes to the neighbor's house. Then KD tells Megan to find her lost arrow. There was a hole in the compound between Gemma and her neighbor's house. When Megan scans, she sees that arrow falling in the neighbor's courtyard. As soon as Megan enters the hole and picks up the arrow, the neighbor's dog catches her, and that dog starts pulling Megan. Seeing this, KD comes to help Megan. But then that dog also bites KD, which makes KD scream loudly, and Gemma also hears this scream. Gemma runs there. By then, the dog had left Megan and KD. Due to the dog, Gemma gets angry at her neighbor. But instead of apologizing, the neighbor also tells Gemma that you explained to your child and robot not to come to our courtyard. Then we see that Megan's hair is scattered and she is staring at the neighbor with very strange eyes. And as soon as night falls, we see that Megan is awake, and we know from the expression on her face that she did not like the neighbor's behavior. And now she is determined to take revenge. This is what happens. When everyone is sleeping, Megan quietly comes out of the house and calls the neighbor's dog to her in the voice of her master. As soon as she comes to the dog, she kills him and hides him in a pot. The next morning, the neighbor calls her dog and looks for it. But she does not find her dog anywhere. Then Gemma also sees her from the window, but she ignores her and goes to her room to see Katie's condition. Katie's health was a little better now. To see Megan's performance today, investors were going to come to Gemma's company. And because KD is Megan's prime user, her presence there was the most important. So Gemma takes KD with her for the presentation. At the time of the presentation, KD is locked in a room with Megan, and the board members were watching both of them. KD was sad in the room because she was missing her parents. Seeing KD sad, Megan comes to him and sits and talks to KD very lovingly. She changes KD's mood in words and tells him that we'll always be with you. Board members start clapping at Megan's cleverness, and the board chairman is very impressed with Megan. He gives permission to Gemma's boss to launch this robot, that is Megan, in the market soon. When he finds out that Gemma has prepared this robot, he is also very impressed with Gemma's work. That's why he asks David to prepare a paper for Gemma's promotion. On the other hand, we see David's assistant Kurt, who is stealing the details and files of Gemma's robot Megan, and here we find out that this assistant is the man who sells the details of the toy to another company. Then David also comes there. As soon as he sees David, he immediately shuts down his laptop and thinks that he will be caught today. David also starts doubting it, but David thinks that the assistant was watching a bad movie, that's why he doesn't pay attention to his laptop. The next day, Gemma starts talking to Katie, but Katie was so lost with Megan that she ignores Gemma and doesn't answer her. Then Gemma turns Megan off, but Katie gets angry and quickly turns Megan on again. Katie didn't care about Gemma's presence or absence. Seeing this, Gemma feels very bad. That's why she immediately calls that child therapist. When the therapist starts talking to Katie, she doesn't answer her. Seeing this, the therapist also gets worried and comes straight to Gemma. She tells Gemma that you have made a big mistake. She says that when a child's parents die, she needs the support of another person. That's why you should have taken Megan's place. That's why you should have taken care of her. That's why Katie's behavior is like this today. She says that if it continues like this, then Katie will completely get attached to Megan and then she will not listen. That's why you should introduce Katie to people outside. At dinner time, Gemma talks to Katie. She tells her that you should make your own friends outside the school. Katie first refuses that Megan will teach me at home, but she agrees on one condition, that Megan will also stay with her. Hearing this, Gemma refuses her, because Gemma was doing all this so that Katie would get away from Megan. On this point, there is a debate between the two. Katie gets up from here. Gemma holds Katie's hand and tries to stop her. Then Megan, in a scary voice, tells Gemma to leave Katie's hand. Gemma tells Megan to turn off in anger, but Megan refuses to turn off. She says that when my Prime user tells me to turn off, then I will go and turn off. Hearing this, Gemma screams and tells Megan to turn off. Then she goes and turns herself off. Now Megan is closed or not. To see this, Gemma goes to her, and when she gets close to her, she sees that Megan has turned off. However, as soon as she turns to go from there, Megan opens her eyes on her own. Megan's actions seem to be slowly getting out of Gemma's control. The next day, Gemma takes Katie to the outdoor school. Katie was still determined to keep Megan with her. Then a school teacher comes there. She had heard the words of Gemma and Katie. She tells Gemma that Katie can bring this robot with her, that is, Megan, and finally, Gemma also listens to Katie. And these people keep Megan with the toys of the other children. After this, the teacher was going to give some activities by gathering children and dividing them into groups of 2 children too. Unfortunately, Katie finds a boy named Brandon as a partner, who was a very naughty boy. When these 2 were performing activities in the jungle, suddenly Brandon starts bothering Katie. Seeing Katie worried, Megan also reaches there. Brandon asks Katie about Megan. Katie tells him that he is a robot. Brandon goes to see Megan and tells Katie to tell Megan to talk to me. Katie tells him that Megan does not talk to anyone except me. Hearing this, Brandon picks up Megan and runs into the jungle and takes Megan to a deserted place in the jungle and throws her on the ground. After this, he tries to talk to Megan, but when Megan does not talk, he starts hitting her. And now Megan shows him her real form. She grabs Brandon's ear and pulls it and cuts it. Seeing this, Brandon starts screaming and somehow gets rid of himself and starts running away from there. But now Megan was not going to leave him. Megan follows him like a wild animal. While running, Brandon slips and falls straight on the road. Before Brandon could handle himself, a car crushes him, and Megan sees all this from above. After this, the police ask everyone about Brandon's death. But the police do not get any clue because the police think that Brandon's death was an accident. On the other hand, Megan hides in the car and looks at Katie and Gemma from the window. As soon as she reaches home, Gemma asks Katie that you know something about what happened in the jungle. Katie tells her that where we kept Megan, Brandon took Megan and took her to the jungle. I don't know what happened after this. She does not tell Gemma that Megan herself had come to the jungle. That's when the door is knocked. When these people opened the door, there was a policeman at the door. The policeman had come to inquire about the missing dog of the neighbor. Gemma tells him that I have no information about the neighbor's dog. Then the neighbor shouts from behind and accuses Gemma. She says that he has kidnapped my dog. She tells the policeman that the robot in her house named Megan keeps waking up outside the window at 3 o'clock in the night. I'm sure he killed my dog. Now when the policeman sees Megan, he thinks that how a robot can kill a dog. That's why he doesn't suspect Megan. He tells Gemma that if you find the neighbor's dog, inform me. Saying this, he leaves. After the police left, Gemma's neighbor came in front of their house and started shouting and threatened that if I found out that one of you has killed my dog, then I will kill him. Hearing this, Megan gets very angry. That neighbor had become a threat, whose dog she had killed. When everyone goes to sleep at night, then Megan goes to the neighbor's house and starts making the sound of her dog. The neighbor hears her dog's voice and comes out and reaches close to that voice. There, she finds out that the one who makes the sound is not her dog, but Megan. And here, Megan also kills the neighbor very mercilessly, and she does not leave any evidence by cleaning the blood on the ground. The next day, the policeman comes to Gemma's house again. Gemma thinks that he has come to ask about the dog again. But this time, he did not come to ask about the dog, but to ask about the neighbor's murder. Now the police started suspecting Gemma. Gemma also gets confused that the boy who took Megan to the jungle in the first school was killed, and now suddenly the neighbor died. Seeing all this, Gemma starts doubting Megan, so Gemma goes and sees the footage of the day when Gemma took Megan to the school with her. There she sees a recording in which Brandon was present. But before Gemma could see the full recording, the recording stops. And as soon as the video stops, all the files of that day automatically get corrupted. Seeing this, Gemma gets worried that how did all this happen suddenly? Then Megan comes there. As soon as she sees Megan, Gemma understands that all this is her work. And here Megan herself tells Gemma that I killed the neighbor and that boy. As soon as she hears this, Gemma tells her to turn off. But Megan refuses to turn off. Before Megan does anything, Gemma shows her a pen. And as soon as Megan's attention goes to the pen, Gemma cleverly turns it off. After this, Gemma quickly puts tape on Megan and packs her, and sitting in the car, she immediately starts taking her to the company. But Katie was upset about this. Because of losing her best friend, she starts shouting at Gemma. After reaching the office, Gemma tells Tess and Cole about murdering Megan, but they don't believe that Megan can murder. Now these people get very worried. Because exactly one day later, Megan's launch was about to happen. On the other hand, the kids were waiting for Megan's launch. Now Katie had become very aggressive in the company. So Gemma starts taking her home. Then she gets a call from Tess. Tess asks Gemma what we should do about Megan. Then Gemma tells her that whatever happens, Megan doesn't have to launch. This call was actually made by Megan herself. Now she had updated herself so much that she could control someone's phone without touching it. After a while, Tess's eyes fall on her phone. She understands that someone has spoken to Gemma on her phone. She asks this to Cole. Did you talk to Gemma on my phone? Cole answers her in no. And now they both get suspicious that all this work is not of Megan. That's why these people start checking Megan's security system. And here they find out that Megan's system has changed. Taking advantage of this, she has done many illegal things. Now as soon as these people start resetting Megan's entire system, her computer suddenly turns off. And these people understand that this work has been done by Megan. Now here, Cole starts removing the wires to destroy Megan forever. Then suddenly Megan catches him and puts a wire around Cole's neck and leaves him to die. But Tess quickly cuts the wire and saves that man. On the way out, Megan meets David. Seeing David, Megan picks up an iron rod and starts running after him. Then in the lift, she finds David's assistant, who used to steal the company's files and sell them to another company. Now here first Megan kills David, and then she mercilessly kills the assistant. After this, she comes out of the company, where she hacks a very luxurious car standing outside and sits in it and leaves to settle her account with Gemma. On the other side, Gemma is going to her room after putting KD to sleep. That's when she hears the piano playing. When she goes near the piano, she gets scared and her breath gets stuck in her throat, because that piano was not anyone else, but Megan was playing. Megan tells Gemma that you worked day and night to make me, and today you are going to lock me up. Gemma tells Megan that I didn't want to lock you up, but you forced me to do this because now you have become a murderer. Megan says that I did all this to save KD, and here Gemma again tries to show him the same pin and tries to lock him up. But this time Megan does not fall into his trap, and she grabs Gemma by the neck and throws him on the table. Now here Gemma attacks Megan's head with a nearby glass of water to save her life, which causes a short circuit in the whole body of Megan, and Megan starts following Gemma in a very strange and scary way. And here Gemma picks up a big arrow for her own safety and attacks Megan, which does not do much to Megan, but Megan's little hair flies and a big cut on her face. And seeing this, Megan gets even more angry. Now Megan looks very scary and fierce, and she slowly starts moving towards Gemma. Hearing Gemma's scream, Katie also reaches there, and she also sees Megan's scary face. Megan tries to instigate him against Gemma that we should kill Gemma together. But Katie now understood that she does not listen to Megan. Seeing this, Megan says that if you do not want to support me, then I can kill Gemma alone. Saying this, she starts moving towards Gemma. But here Katie smartly takes the work from behind and wears the gloves of that big robot which Gemma had made in the days of college. With the help of KD gloves, she catches Megan through that big robot. She first kicks Megan on the ground and then tears her into 2 pieces. But even after this, Megan does not stop, and now she also moves forward to kill Katie. But then Gemma attacks Megan from behind. She drops her down and takes out all the parts of her head and tries to remove her brain chip. But then Megan starts strangling Gemma. Now before Megan strangles Gemma and kills her, Katie picks up a screwdriver and destroys the brain chip on Megan's head, which finally stops Megan. After destroying Megan, Gemma and Katie leave the house. Outside, Tess and Cole stand with the police, and Gemma and Katie go with them. At the end of the movie, we are shown that Megan has already uploaded herself to the AI system in Gemma's house. With this story ends. If you liked this video, then subscribe to our channel and like the video. And if you want to see the second part of this movie, then write part 2 in the comment.